Oh, so have you heard of Echo and Narcissus? Narcissus or Mirror Mirror on the Wall or the gaze into just the water when you look at it and it just goes with all those layers and the light and the colors of the environment around and kind of mesmerizes you. Or this idea that when you look into say, a mirror or a screen, that there is these spirits that pull you into them. The idea, the matrix. They're all talking about one aspect of an important thing that a lot of people have been dabbling about, thinking about. Narcissus, for example, Narcissus, in his story, he was so mesmerized by his own image, his own reflection in the water of the lake, to the exclusion of everything else. That he was so much in love with himself that he pined away in that love. Yeah. Consider that the matrix and several things that they're talking about are kind of related in the idea that what we see as reality is in some way apparently flipped. What we in a vehicle, they say the objects in a mirror are closer than they appear. Yeah. Or this idea that in the movie Matrix, Resurrection Revolution, there's the idea of stepping into the mirror. There's this movie, Red Panda, where the people look at the mirror of Kami and let their higher self apparently walk through because of what that their red panda demands of them. And so the whole story and all of that, yeah. And it's like we all have a calling, and then we would rather kind of play small. Mariam Williamson, she says it's our own light that we most fear. And when we let our own lights shine, others have a permission to have their lights shine. So they're all kind of related. But also, most importantly, why we have a difficulty with having our own lights shine is because of what we see in front of us. Reality does not make sense in the sense it's fish can't see water. It's the saying, but clearly we can't see water that's there around us. From where, for example, we sweat and the vapor goes up, forms cloud, and then it rains. We see the rain, we see the water, we see ice, we drink water, but we don't see water around us. Earth is a life supporting planet because of water that's there. Our skin is humid. We kind of like by osmosis in some way also. Yeah. Taking in water, we are kind of, we just can't see the water. We are like fish in the ocean. The thing is, reality hence does not make sense. It's like we're in a bubble. A good, nice, well-protected, apparently bubble. But our own bubble in the sense we can't see what we can't see. We don't know what we don't know. And hence we are in our own universe, in our own idea of what the world is. But let's just say we see reality the way we see, and we don't see what we don't see. And our interpretation of what we are seeing is like Narcissus looking at his own reflection in the waters of the lake. People sometimes, there's this idea of the mirror neurons. When we do something, people respond in a particular way. So, like the waves of the ocean, it's as though we have, in some way, in past lifetimes, maybe like particles, like wavicles, waves. In some way, we are all related. We are all on the same planet. Our genetics, epigenetics, didn't just drop out of the sky one fine day, just, we didn't just born out of nowhere. Our genes are saying that we are all related since some time. There's this idea of the Adam and Eve, and how people are all descendants. We're all, in that sense, brothers and sisters. And it's like one big family. We're all on the same planet. And Earth has everything related to just about everything. And that may be difficult for us to get our head around. And Earth is one of the planets of the solar system. The solar system is part of the Milky Way galaxy. It's part of a bigger system. Now, that's nice to think about. But to get our head around, mirror what we see around as reality, when, say, another human, we may have a difficulty looking at another human, just as we look at the mirror, but may have a difficulty seeing those parts of us that may not be as perfect. We might be having all those blemishes and things like that. And we'd like to see some things unless we kind of put a makeup, and then you'd like to see, and then you'd like somebody else to kind of do a professional touch up because your work may not be good enough. So you see what you want to see and don't see what you don't want to see. It doesn't exist. It's not there. Yeah. Similarly, of other people, there are some people we'd like to see, some people we don't like to, or they don't exist. Just like however we look into a mirror. So we sometimes reflect off of each other. And reality is a construct of the several reflections. Either we reflect upon them, oh, I did this, I said this, and hence they were hurt. And consequently, this then happened. Over time, these patterns showed up. And mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Narcissus. Narcissus looking at his own reflection in the lake. Still maybe. But he was looking at something more than just his own reflection. He was seeing a map, and so mesmerizing, so different than what we are used to, that he had to just keep looking and find a way. Yeah? Because there's so much in the details of it. It could be quite infinite. Yeah? Life is like that. When we only see some facets of life and don't quite see how one is related with the other, and our idea of mortality may be coming from, we see so much and then we don't see further from there. There are some things we see and some things we'd like to see, some things we don't like to see. And maybe over time, what you don't like to see, and maybe there's pain and there's certain experiences, and then you don't like to see, you get into this tiny little space. And then there is, yeah. So that may be the thing of why people may be having dis-ease, lack of ease. And then either life gets boring, the same thing is happening, oh my God, my life. Yeah. Or there's nothing new. It's all the same thing. I've seen it, been there, done that, seen that, and that's it. Yeah. Now only liberation. Yeah. Another lifetime, like it's like guaranteed. Yeah. So our perspectives are kind of very interesting. We can kind of get cookied in our mirror, like Sleeping Beauty, in our own glass houses, kind of. We see so much, and this is life. So much is a room. Yeah. Never mind that there are other perspectives. So life just gets a little limited. Yeah. So I hope this video brings you pause for thought. What makes my mighty life interesting is that there is so many things to look at, infinite, all beautiful, nice, really, really things. Yeah. So, for example, there are people to bounce off of, reflect off of. There are mirrors to bounce to reflect off of. There are screens, and then there is now artificial intelligence. So there is different kinds of intelligence, musical intelligence, natural intelligence, different. Google says 9 kinds of intelligence, and then they haven't considered meristem intelligence, which is what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know if it's a 10th, or is it a combination, or is a whole world of several intelligences. Yeah, I don't know. But mine is the nth way, I find. Yeah, it's like people talk about one dimension, two dimension, four dimension. I'm like, Lord, we stop counting. When it comes to you just n. Yeah. Like there are many things. There are things we know, there are things we don't know, and a lot of things we don't know, for example. So how then do you live in the discomfort of not knowing? And then you can't even say that you don't know because you'd become a bad person or something like that. Yeah, if you say you don't know. But you're supposed to know, or at least make an effort to know what you don't know. Otherwise, you're a good person, a bad person, or capable, not capable, and a whole bunch of judgments. Yeah, and according to your knowledge or no knowledge, they'll put you into boxes. You're this kind of a person. This is your category. This is what you're capable of. This is what you can produce. This is how you're valuable, economical, or and several other categories. We even have WHO's global list of diseases. So if there's economic categories that is missing, then you have disease categories. If that is not there, then something else we found. We have lots of names. It's called labels. If we don't have names, we'll invent names and then call you that. For example, stupid. And then you'll sit in that box. Oh, somebody called me stupid, or I'm stupid. If you take in that label for long enough. Yeah. So somebody calls you, named you when you were born, and then nicknames, and then over time you become it. Like a cookie. Yeah. You are it, you are it, you are it, and you are. And then it is, unless that name is, and that whole construct is beautiful enough that, yeah, you know what? I got a difference, I got an advantage. You call me so many names, I'll take that, string it also, and make it part of my story. Like a donkey. Yeah. The donkey was not coming out of the hole, so they put sand, soil. And the donkey climbed up, wove the story, and then yay. Yeah. Donkey is also reference to Kali, goddess. Her vehicle is said to be donkey. Yeah. So me like, so there's this idea of mint with a hole. Yeah. But the WHOLE. Yeah. And there's this idea of Sri Chakra. Yeah, with a dot in the center. Um, and there's this idea of journey to the center of the earth. Yeah, so to speak. Or beneath the surface. Yeah, like Mahabali was sent by Vamana beneath the surface. Yeah, because he didn't have a place to keep his little big feet, big little feet. Yeah. Um, two measures. Third measure, Mahabali said, keep it on my head. Yeah. So under the ground. And then every Onam is when he's said to come and then see if everybody's doing prosperously. So I'm kind of like Sita also went under the earth. Yeah. So there are many references to this. In mythologies, there's a reference of the anteater, rat, and mongoose, I think. Yeah, I think. As underground dwellers. But there's also this idea of Mamiur, where there's a displacement of water, like Archimedes' principle, displacement of water. And then the weight of the matter, weight of water was discovered. Yeah. So we have water everywhere we can't see. Yeah. We are like fish in the water. So Shri, for example, or scintillating octaves. You have the idea of water and the value, and then people are looking at life and what does it take to have life and be alive, and we are all on a planet. It supports life. And the value of the life we have may not be as much known or appreciated. And what does it take to continue being alive, not have diseases, for example, these several perspectives. So MITI has a suite of perspectives, yeah? If not one, there's another, there's several, yeah? It's beautiful. Right. So if any of this interests you, and if you'd like to have another perspective on some of the challenges you're facing, or how life is experienced, or what somebody else is facing, and you'd like to have a say in it, or you'd like to make a difference in that, or several options, yeah? To contact, leave a comment, and we will have a discussion. You're likely to have another think that might make your life easier, simpler, or beautifuler or yay. Yeah. You never know what becomes possible because I don't know you. Unless we have a discussion, I have no reason to understand what you may be going through. And how do you know a solution is just a conversation away? To contact. Thank you so much for your kind interest. Good day.